It's spring. This is the best time of the year to catch the most fish of the year. You want to catch that big sack? You want to catch the biggest bass of the year? This is pre-spawn, baby. It's time to get bit. And I got the 3 baits that's going to do it for you. Coming to you right now. What's up, folks? Devon Banks here in the Bass Basement. Before we get in the top 3 baits that I'm throwing in April, check out my IG page at DBanks Fishing for my 2020 jersey giveaway. The instructions are there. Just follow them, and you're all in. And I'll do a drawing in a few days, and a lucky winner is going to get this jersey. Now, let's go right to the video. Thanks for tuning in with me, Devon Banks, with another TTD. And this one is covering my top 3 baits that I throw in spring. These 3 baits have been highly successful for me in the past, so I want to share them with you. So a couple things that's going on with the April time, and that means water temperature is increasing, the fish are somewhat predictable, we've got longer days, and this tells the fish to definitely hit the shallows, looking to eat and looking to prepare to spawn. Thus, this is the pre-spawn phase. And this is the time where you can get 80 to 100 fish day catches and just get that 25, 28 pound sack. I'm in the north, and those smallmouth are ready to eat. The ice is broken and they're ready. They're on the shallows. And if you get into the right group of them, you're definitely going to have one of those awesome days on the water that you'll always remember. So the first bait that I love to throw during this time of year, when that water temperature has definitely broke 50 and is rising, is a lipless crankbait. I like to go with the 1/2 ounce Warpig. A couple reasons why I like this bait. 1, I can get a long cast with it, and 2, it is very loud, and 3, it has some colors that just drive fish crazy. They're sort of drawn to it, and they strike it very, very hard. So these are some of the colors that I've worked with in the past that have just gave me some success. And this is just chrome with a blue back. And this thing coming through the water just drives those smallmouth crazy. If the sun is out, this right here is going to be a great one because you're going to get a lot of reflection off of that bait right there. So chrome with blue back, that works. And then if it's a little cloudy, I like to go with just a shad pattern right there. That's a nice one as well, that you get a good look at that. That's a good pattern, shad pattern. And then something that has some chartreuse in it. We all know that smallmouth are drawn to chartreuse, and I like to go with this fire tiger right there. And that right there, whether it's cloudy, whether it's sunny, that really gets bit as well, and that red eye sort of draws those fish to it for them to strike. So that is the 1/2 ounce Warpig, and like I said, you can throw this a mile, cover a lot of water, and once you get in the right group of them, that's when you can maybe go to another bait when this bait sort of dies off and it sort of scatters the school. But this is definitely one of the baits that I have on deck during April, early April, at the start of the spring. Moving on from the lipless crankbait, I like to go to a jerkbait. Now, the jerkbait of choice is the Berkeley Cutter 110 SP. That right there is a awesome jerkbait to use, especially now during the springtime. As you see, it has 3 treble hooks on it. Those are Fusion 19, and they are sticky sharp. This is an IU pattern, and this works awesome. If you see, it has great detail. Look at those eyes right there, and great paint job. Very good bait that I can throw from that 4 to 8 foot zone. Water clarity, we're looking at 3 to 4 feet. Maybe even I can see the whole bottom. We're fishing flats, folks, so I'm able to see a little bit of grass, the sand, and maybe even see fish swimming. But definitely want to be in that 4 to 5 foot zone where I'm tossing this, and I'm throwing it into that 7 to 8 foot zone. That's that first break that those fish are sort of holding on to. I like this IU pattern, and I definitely like this pearl white. Both these patterns draw fish in, they attract fish, and they get bit. And the cadence that I'm going to use with these jerk baits, as I cast it out, try to get the longest cast possible, I'm going to go real fast as I can to get down to the desired depth. But then I'm going to jerk, pause, jerk, jerk, pause, jerk, pause. And usually you get the bite on the pause. And if you're a jerkbait fisherman, you know exactly what I'm talking about. This is the fish catcher that's going to get you those 50, 60 fish catches in a day. The jerkbait, and that's the Berkeley Cutter 110 SP. And for my final bait that I love to throw in early spring is a swim bait. And this is none other than the Berkeley Power Bait Power Swimmer 3.8. And that's to match the small bait fish. But that boot tail creates a lot of vibration and draws those fish in. But this is in a rainbow shad. So this color pattern right here, as you can see there, has a white bottom, has a darker top. And when the sun hits it, all those flakes in there sort of flare out and draws those fish in. And that boot tail does all the action. And you can just tell that this swim bait has a lot of action due to the way that boot tail just wags right there. But when it hits the water, just a lot of thump, creates a lot of action. But I rigged this bait in two different ways. The first way is just with a traditional swim bait head, and that's the Fusion 19 swim bait head in a 1/4 ounce. Perfect for this little bait right there. And then the second way that I rigged this bait is also on a 1/4 ounce head, but it's a underspin right there. And that right there creates a lot of flash for this bait, just for that extra flash to maybe get those extra bites, to sort of really call those fish in from afar, and this thing will get bit. So open water, smallmouth fishing, 3 baits. Let me rig these up and show you how they look. Here we are here, folks. This is the 3.8 Power Swimmer Rainbow Shad with the 1/4 ounce Fusion 19 swim bait head. And as you can see, if I break this bait into 3 sections, we have 1/3 of the bait ends with the hook, and then we have the body, and then we have the boot tail for that 3rd section. And what this does with this 1/4 ounce 3/0 hook is allow this bait to have the optimum action within the water, and it's going to get you more strikes. You don't want to have the hook shank all the way to the back of the bait where you're not going to allow this body to really move and create the action that is needed to draw a strike. So this is one of the reasons that I go with this 1/4 ounce head in the springtime with the 3/0 hook, shorter shank, and it allows the bait to have optimum action to really get you strikes. And this is like one of my go-tos when it comes to a swim bait. I may dip that tail in a little bit of chartreuse. We all know that smallmouth loves chartreuse, and this allows me to have a little bit more confidence in the bait, especially if there's a little bit of stain to it. But that's all I do right there, covering a lot of water, fishing those flats from 4 to 8 feet of water for those roaming smallmouth looking for something to eat. And this Berkeley Power Swimmer definitely fits it when they are on that feeding frenzy early spring. Let's check out what the bait looks like with the underspin. Here again, folks, this is that Berkeley Power Swimmer Rainbow Shad with the Berkeley Fusion 19 underspin right there. And that bait has got me a lot of bites in the spring and early summer, big fish as well. But definitely one setup that I use the Swimbait 3.8 version with this 1/4 ounce head. As you can see right there, has an awesome lifelike appeal. This blade spins with ease, as you can see right there, and the Power Swimmer does its job. And this is a super sharp Fusion 19 hook, and those fish just dial in on that bait and they smash it. So check that out. Fusion 19 super sticky sharp hook, and that eye on that bait looks so realistic. But that bait right there is one of the go-tos, definitely in the spring. Use these tips and you're definitely gonna get bit, hands down. Well, there you have it, folks. That's today's TTD, covering my top 3 baits to get you bit during the early spring. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And you already know what I want you to do. Hit that bell.